Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 290 based on novel. So let's start. Liu Wen was originally an unknown ancient cultivator. Although he was talented, he was not outstanding. However, he left the first record of divine sense. No one knew how he had achieved divine sense or how long this state lasted. Was it only for a moment or was it eternal? However, Wang Lin knew Liu Wen was previously a cultivator with no fame in the cultivation world. After he went into closed-door cultivation and came out, he became a terrifying existence in the cultivation world. What made him terrifying was that no one had seen any of his spells before. If that was all, it wouldn't be surprising, but all of Liu Wen's spells were extremely powerful and contained the Tao of the heavens. It set off a storm in ancient times. Too many people wanted to know the secret, and so a bloodbath began. No matter how many people attacked, and even when some old monsters who normally never bothered with such things moved, none of them were able to get a hold of Liu Wen. It was as if he could predict all the dangers and avoid them. Later, he realized he couldn't resist everyone with just his power and disappeared. He became a strange legend in the ancient cultivation world. It wasn't until people later that realized that he must have entered one of the three great realms. It couldn't be the Ji realm, so it had to be the Dao realm or the Sha realm. As for the which one, after combining everything that had happened, they determined it was the Sha realm. After thinking about how Liu Wen was able to use all those unheard of spells, a rumor stating that the Sha realm would allow one to create their own world spread. And now those rumors that couldn't be confirmed had spread far and wide. The Ji realm was death and the Sha realm was life. Wang Lin didn't know any of this. At this moment, he was immersed in this state, but he couldn't grasp it. He was unable to be immersed in it and merely hovered outside it. There was always that opportunity before him, but whenever he tried to grab it, he would find that nothing was there. Wang Lin almost never had this feeling before. Wang Lin watched the sun completely set and the darkness took over once more. Only the sound of the waves faintly entered his ears. Wang Lin wasn't anxious, and he had always been perseverant. During his youth, he was able to climb up the mountain in the Hengyu sect with his weak body. If he didn't have the perseverance, he wouldn't have become the Wang Lin he was today. He calmly looked at the sky. Since he wouldn't grasp that chance, then he was simply going to wait. Wait for the sunrise and sunset, wait for that opportunity to become even more clear, until the moment he can grasp it. Linga woke up late into the night. As her eyelashes trembled, she slowly opened her eyes. What she saw was the starry night sky, and she silently sat up. She looked at Wang Lin in the distance. Under the moonlight, she could see Wang Lin's sharp face. After she awakened, it was as if a seal had been opened in his mind. She was able to see a lot of vague memories. However, these memories were simply too old, and when she looked at Wang Lin, she entered a trance. Her eyes had no focus, and she was actually not looking at Wang Lin. Even if Wang Lin wasn't here, she'd still be like this. The memories from the past moved within Linga's mind. It wasn't until dawn arrived that her mind recalled the moment right before she passed out. Touching her forehead, Linga's eyes lit up. The dream that had puzzled her for years now was resolved. She pondered for a long time before standing up. Then she walked toward Wang Lin and respectfully said, "God slave Mu Ling greets ancient god." Wang Lin nodded slightly and calmly said, "You can go back. Don't bother me again." Wang Lin's words were the highest command for Linga. She bowed and she shook the bells on her wrist. The crane came and she jumped on the crane's back. She turned back to carefully look at Wang Lin. There was a trace of confusion before she sighed and left with the crane. Wang Lin didn't bother with Linga, his gaze was locked onto the distant sea. Not long after, the sun appeared over the horizon and light gradually filled the world. That strange feeling became stronger once more. However, even after the sun rose into the air, Wang Lin still wasn't enlightened. Time slowly passed and days went by. Wang Lin had forgotten how long he had been sitting here for. He even noticed that the Chen brothers, Master Hollow Wind, and Big Head had all come here. He was constantly looking into the distance, and his eyes were bloodshot. However, he didn't care about this at all. It was as if everything in the world had disappeared, and the only thing that mattered was the moment the sun rose. The three Chen brothers were floating in the air 5 kilometers away from the peak. They could see the lone, motionless figure on the peak. It has been 1 month. Master Yi Long was very puzzled. He frowned and asked, "What is he comprehending?" Master Yi Xing shook his head and slowly said, "For a Nirvana cleanser cultivator to comprehend for this long, it must be an extremely powerful spell." Master Yi Chen pondered for a long time before he shook his head. "I don't think so. Did you two not notice that there are no fluctuations of origin energy or divine sense? Yet we can't approach. There is something happening here that we don't understand. Also, I have a feeling that he is comprehending Tao." Comprehending Tao? Master Yi Long's eyes lit up. After looking for a long time, he nodded. "Very likely." Master Yi Xing said, "Although there is no origin energy, if anyone steps within 100 feet of him, they get pushed out by a powerful force after 3 steps. As for the powerful force that stops us from entering, I discovered that it seems to be created by the world itself. When I tried to enter, it was as if I was facing the roaring sea." Master Yi Long frowned. Master Yi Chen calmly said, "Let's just watch for now. If he really is comprehending Tao, it is a rare experience for the 3 of us. Perhaps watching him will help the 3 of us." Then the 3 of them simply sat down in the air and looked at Wang Lin in the distant peak. Far from the 3 of them, Master Hollowwind's eyes lit up. He looked at the peak and thought, he doesn't seem to be comprehending Tao. However, whatever he is doing is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me. But what will happen once I break this seal? Master Hollowwind was struggling in his heart. Big Head, Tao Shan, and Lei Ji all came here. After all, Wang Lin had been cultivating here for a whole month, so the 3 of them couldn't help but be concerned. As the sun rose and set, time quickly went by. Another month had passed. Wang Lin's eyes were completely bloodshot. He had forgotten everything as he stared at the surface of the sea. As every sunrise and sunset passed, he found that the opportunity had become more clear. On this day, it was the 9th day of the 3rd month. Dark clouds covered the sky and muffled thunder came from within the clouds. Soon, large drops of rain began to fall. In the distance, as the rain fell, ripples were set off. The raging waves of the sea seemed to be fighting the heavens. In the rain, there seemed to be a curtain of cloth over the sun, making it blurry. Just as the light appeared, it seemed to be devoured by the dark clouds. The sun seemed to struggle to appear from the rain. At this moment Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. He had a very strong feeling that after 2 months of waiting he had reached the most critical moment. The current him became extremely focused on the sunrise as if he was going to become one with the sunrise. The thunder roared and the rain fell, but it couldn't stop Wang Lin's eyes. It wasn't able to stop him from being immersed and wasn't able to stop the eventual sunrise. As the sun struggled to raise up into the sky where a small portion was still under the sea, Wang Lin something exploded in his mind. He could clearly feel that chance was rapidly condensing like threads before him and then finally entered his body. At this instant Wang Lin's body trembled violently as if he was having an out-of-body experience. He saw the sun struggle to raise out from the sea. It was as if the sea was the month and the sun was the baby. At the moment of dawn the mother gave birth to the sun. The moment the sun was born, an unimaginable force that spread out. This power was the light that torn apart the night. This power was strong enough to reverse the heaven, to shake the heavens, to cause the night to collapse into countless fragments, and be replaced with light. Sundered night was born from the sun rising over the sea. It's this power. Wang Lin's eyes shined brightly and his mind entered a mysterious state. The moment of sunrise was locked in his mind, the power to torn the night away. Now. Master Hollowwind's eyes turned cold. He waited for 2 months and couldn't find a way to deal with what comes after breaking the seal. However, he did come up with one other method, and that was to kill Wang Lin. Kill him and all the seal will be broken. Master Hollowwind's eyes lit up. He charged forward the moment Wang Lin comprehended that force. However, just as he stepped within 100 feet, Master Hollow Wind's expression changed greatly. It was as if he saw something he didn't dare to believe. Shock and fear filled his eyes. This? What is this? What appeared before Master Hollow Wind was a red sun, and below the red sun was the raging waves of the sea. At this moment, Master Hollow Wind had an illusion that his body had dissipated and turned into the endless night. However, at the moment the sun rose up from the sea, he felt an intense amount of pain come from his body. It was like his body was being torn apart. Even his origin soul was caught in this. It was a pain he had never felt before. He felt himself being torn to pieces. A powerful sense of life and death crisis appeared in Master Hollow Wind's heart. He was aghast at the situation before him, causing him to open his arms. A storm of origin energy descended from the sky as he attempted to resist the power of sundered night. However, just as his origin energy spread out, it was pierced by the blazing sun, just like the darkness of the night. The storm shattered as if it had been torn apart. In just a short moment, none of it remained. This is impossible. Master Hollow Wind was pale, and at this moment, unspeakable pain filled his body. Blood came out of his orifices and he coughed out a large mouthful of blood. He retreated, but he was terrified to find that no matter how much he moved, the sun was always before him. All I can do is risk it. Master Hollow Wind's hand formed a seal and his Nirvana cleanser cultivation exploded. The ability to gather origin energy was something only Nirvana cleanser cultivators could do, and he quickly used this ability. Strands of origin energy came from the void and gathered before Master Hollow Wind like roaring dragons. Soon, they formed a ball of origin energy before him. Although this ball wasn't big, the destructive force inside it was not something any Nirvana Scryer cultivator could resist. The instant the ball of origin energy appeared, the world changed colors and the planet trembled. The expression of the three Chen brothers changed and they had to retreat. Big Head and company also retreated. They didn't dare to linger too close to a spell of a Nirvana cleanser cultivator. Master Hollow Wind's hair was a mess. The life and death crisis and the terror he felt had forced him into a corner like a trapped beast. He no longer thought about killing Wang Lin, he only wanted to find a way to survive this unbelievable spell. What kind of spell is this? It contains an unimaginable law of the world. This is not the kind of spell a Nirvana cleanser cultivator should have. Roaring, Master Hollow Wind pushed the ball of origin energy forward. This ball of origin energy shot out like a ray of lightning at the blazing sun. Only by breaking this blazing sun can I save my life. Master Hollow Wind was frightened as he watched the ball of origin energy fly forward. The ball of origin energy was very fast and shot directly at the blazing sun. When it got closer, a powerful force erupted from the blazing sun and mercilessly collided with the ball of origin energy. A thunderous rumble echoed across the world. This sound even echoed through the space around planet Water Spirit, and large amounts of cracks appeared on the earth of planet Water Spirit. The ball of origin energy collapsed. Master Hollow Wind let out a miserable smile and coughed out another mouthful of blood. At this moment, there was a sound of things tearing as countless wounds appeared on his body and instantly soaked his clothes in blood. Bursts of unimaginable pain came from his body. If not for his amazing perseverance from all his years of cultivation, he would have groaned in pain. Now he could only feel as if he was the darkness of the night that was torn apart by the light of the blazing sun. This feeling became so strong that he couldn't tell if this was an illusion or if it was real. Not only did a large amount of wounds appear on his body, even his origin soul was covered in injuries. It felt as if countless people were trying to tear him into pieces. His origin soul also had this feeling. He was in a trance as the blazing sun rose up from the sea. There seemed to be a vague figure inside the sun, and the figure became clearer the higher the sun rose. Wang Lin. The person inside the sun was Wang Lin. At this instant, Wang Lin was that blazing sun. Bursts of golden light came from his body. This light was too strong, making it impossible for anyone to see the real figure inside. The sea under the sun vaguely reflected the peak Wang Lin was on. All of this caused fear to fill Master Hollow Wind's eyes. That wasn't the blazing sun at all, but Wang Lin. That wasn't the sea, but the mountain's peak. However, the feeling that was tearing him apart told him that the force tearing the night sky was real. Master Hollow Wind struggled to roar as he endured the pain and touched his bag of holding. However, the moment he touched the bag of holding, his right arm shattered and dissipated. Large amounts of treasures flew out from his bag in an attempt to stop the force tearing his body. However, those treasures were far too weak and all exploded the moment they appeared. Master Hollow Wind's eyes were bloodshot. At this moment of life and death, his mountain of flesh body that he had recovered quickly disappeared in a second. A giant, black stone tablet instantly appeared before him. There were countless runes carved on the stone tablet, and there was a giant black python coiled around it. The python had a horn on its head. It was clearly about to become a real dragon. As Master Hollow Wind roared, the giant python opened its mouth and charged at Wang Lin. The black stone tablet tipped over and seemed to be falling down on Wang Lin. The stone tablet was so big that it covered the sky as it fell, making it seem as if the sky itself was falling. Wang Lin was still sitting on top of the peak. From beginning to end, he sat there without moving an inch. He calmly looked at Master Hollow Wind and softly said, "Sundered Night." The moment he uttered those two words, the world rumbled. Wang Lin's body turned into the sun and the peak turned into the sea. The sun rose completely above the sea and an endless power that could tear the night apart swept forward. The sun rises over the sea, sundered night. The night collapsed as it was torn apart. It was sundered. The giant python painfully struggled as it was torn to pieces. The stone tablet shattered into countless pieces and collapsed. Master Hollow Wind coughed out a large mouthful of blood and countless more wounds appeared on his body. There was no part of his body that wasn't injured, but his body no longer collapsing. A powerful force pushed him back and he smashed into the ground, kicking up a large amount of dust into the air. The night no longer existed and everything disappeared. Everything returned to normal as if nothing had happened. The three Chen brothers' scalps tingled as they watched all this unfold before them, and they felt fear from the bottom of their hearts. Even Master can't use a spell like this. This is the spell he spent 2 months comprehending. It's terrifying. If this kind of spell was used on me, the only thing awaiting me would be death. Master Hollow Wind is a Nirvana cleanser cultivator, yet he was forced to retreat. If it wasn't for the fact that Senior Wang didn't have the intent to kill, it would have been difficult for Master Hollow Wind to escape this calamity. The three Chen brothers looked at each other and saw the fear in each other's eyes. Big Head gasped as he looked at the indifferent Wang Lin. His heart held a very complex feeling. The difference between us is getting larger and larger. This trip to the Alliance has caused a huge increase in his cultivation level. Passion filled Lei Ji's eyes, and he thought, the stronger Master is, the more confident I get in taking back Planet Giant Demon. Ta Shan was still as indifferent as before. The surroundings were completely silent. No one was dared to speak under this oppressive atmosphere. As Wang Lin silently looked at the sun in the sky, clarity filled his eyes. He took a step and arrived before Master Hollow Wind. He grabbed Master Hollow Wind by the hair and charged straight ahead. Before he left, he nodded at the three Chen brothers and disappeared. After more than 2 months of waiting, I finally managed to catch that moment. It was similar to the time I entered that mysterious space provided by ancient demon Bei Lu in the demon spirit land. However, it was just similar. Compared to this, ancient demon Bei Lu's mysterious space was really insignificant. As Wang Lin pondered, he appeared before his palace and walked in. What realm was that? Even though I was only in that realm for a moment, I was able to comprehend the power that tears through the darkness of the night, sundered night. This can also be considered the first spell I've created. Wang Lin put Master Hollow Wind to the side and began to ponder. He kept replaying the scene from before and gradually engraved the feeling of sundered night into his mind. Master Hollow Wind struggled to sit up as he looked at Wang Lin with a complex expression. Right now, he was a bag of bones. It was as if he was a skeleton. After a long time, he asked with a hoarse voice, Did you create that spell just now?" Master Hollow Wind wasn't sure if Wang Lin had created that spell that almost made him lose his wits. He only felt that the spell was very powerful, and he rarely saw a spell of equal power. The reason Master Hollow Wind thought that Wang Lin had created his own spell was due to Master Hollow Wind's countless years of cultivation experience and his early-stage Nirvana cleanser cultivation. While experiencing the spell, Master Hollow Wind felt a lack of proficiency. This lack of proficiency wasn't because of the caster not being familiar with the spell, it came from the spell itself. Just like how a jade that was just polished would look very smooth, if you touched it, you'd find that it was still a bit rough. This resulted in Master Hollow Wind's hoarse question after pondering for a long time. Wang Lin calmly looked at Master Hollow Wind and nodded. His nod caused a storm to sweep through Master Hollow Wind's heart. He stared dumbfoundedly at Wang Lin and wasn't able to say anything for a long time. Self-created spells were not things just anyone could come up with. At least from Master Hollow Wind's experience, he had heard that only those old monsters at the Nirvana Shatterer stage were qualified to make spells unique to themselves. Basically, any self-created spells were powerful beyond imagination. Self-created, Master Hollow Wind had a bitter expression. He would have never expected this Wang Lin to create a spell, and its power. Thinking of the feeling of his body being torn apart, Master Hollow Wind's face paled. The pain from his body being torn apart was still there. The pain was especially strong from his right arm that had already collapsed. Master Hollow Wind understood that if it wasn't for the fact that Wang Lin didn't want to kill him, he would have already collapsed under that self-created spell. While hundreds of ideas flashed through Master Hollow Wind's mind, Wang Lin was pondering as well. The shock that Sundered Night brought to Wang Lin wasn't any less than what Master Hollow Wind was feeling. In fact, he was even more shocked. My actual cultivation is still only at the peak of the mid-stage of Nirvana Scryer, one step away from the late stage, but far from peak late-stage Nirvana Scryer. The difference between me and a Nirvana cleanser cultivation is huge, yet why was Sundered Night able to seriously injure Master Hollow Wind so easily? Wang Lin continued to ponder this problem. While he pondered, he raised his right hand and his eyes shined brightly. The feeling of Sundered Night appeared in his mind and a golden light appeared in his right hand. This golden light was bright like the blazing sun. Master Hollow Wind was terrified as he endured the pain to get up and retreat. He didn't see that Wang Lin had frowned. Wang Lin waved his right hand and the golden light dissipated. Master Hollow Wind let out a sigh as he respectfully said, "I'll remember fellow cultivator Wang's mercy. I was reckless this time, and my losing right arm is a clear reminder of my mistake. I, Master Hollow Wind, swear with my Tao that this won't happen a second time." Although he admitted his defeat to Wang Lin, he still held a grudge. Originally, he decided to rebel in the Demon Spirit Land. However, after seeing the power of Sundered Night and learning that it was a self-created spell, he gave up on such thoughts. He would focus on getting out from the Demon Spirit Land and regaining his freedom. As for whether or not this spell was really created by Wang Lin, he didn't bother asking too much. With his cultivation and experience, he could see some clues. He thought that 80% of what Wang Lin said was true. However, whether it was true or false was no longer important. The shock of the spell made him discard any ideas of rebelling. In a way, he was relieved as he no longer had to think about it. Moreover, after being shown mercy twice, Master Hollow Wind knew there wouldn't be a third time. Wang Lin calmly looked at Master Hollow Wind. They were both sensible people, so there was no need to warn or say too much. He merely nodded and let this matter pass. "Fellow cultivator Wang, with my understanding of the old monsters of planet Qianyun, the Demon Spirit Land should be open soon. It could open within few months or at most half a year. I'm seriously injured, so I must go into closed-door cultivation, and I won't disturb you too much." Now that he was sincerely going to help Wang Lin, Master Hollow Wind gradually started to consider what might happen in the Demon Spirit Land. After saying goodbye to Wang Lin, Master Hollow Wind returned to his palace and began to cultivate. After Master Hollow Wind left, Wang Lin frowned as he looked at his right hand. After a moment of silence, he used Sundered Night again and the golden light appeared once more. The moment this golden light appeared, the origin energy in Wang Lin's body gathered in his hand like uncontrollable wild horses. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he waved his right hand, then his origin energy gradually returned. However, just this moment had almost used more than 10% of his origin energy. Just like before, all my origin energy is used up when I use the spell. It will be impossible to use Sundered Night with the amount of origin energy I possess. However, I didn't consume any origin energy and was able to display the shocking power of Sundered Night a little while ago. Wang Lin frowned. Could it be? Wang Lin suddenly raised his head and his eyes lit up. He seemed to have realized something. In the blink of an eye, the day passed and night arrived once more. Wang Lin still sat in the palace and pondered late into the night. It wasn't until the time dawn was about to arrive that Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he stood up and walked out. His body suddenly disappeared and reappeared on the peak where he comprehended Sundered Night. The ocean breeze blew by and bursts of coldness fell on Wang Lin's body. However, Wang Lin wasn't bothered by this at all as he stared at the rising sun in the distance. The comprehension he had while using Sundered Night filled his body and then moved to his right hand. At this moment, golden light flashed from his right hand. He didn't use any origin energy in his body. The moment he raised his right hand, Wang Lin he found that boundless origin energy from the rising sun had gathered in his right hand. This caused the golden light in his hand to suddenly expand. As more origin energy came from the rising sun and gathered in his right hand, the golden light spread from his right arm to his whole body. Wang Lin was covered in this golden glow, and he became as bright as the sun. A moment later, he replaced the real sun and became the sun rising over the sea. Enlightenment appeared in Wang Lin's eyes. With a thought, the golden light around him slowly disappeared until it was completely gone. So that was indeed the case. My pool of origin energy isn't enough to use this shocking self-created spell. I can only borrow the power of the sunrise to use it. Wang Lin pondered for a long time before shaking his head. He then took a step and disappeared. Although there is a limit, if someone battles me during sunrise, then along with the third eye and the god-slaying war chariot, I should have the power to battle an early-stage Nirvana Shatterer cultivator. The moment the sun peaks over the horizon is when I'm at my strongest. When Wang Lin returned to the palace, his eyes turned cold and he muttered, "Not counting Master Hollow Wind, I wonder who will be the first to encounter me at my strongest." Wang Lin sat in the lotus position. Then his hands formed seal and countless restrictions filled the palace. Then he pointed to between his eyebrows to activate the heart restriction and countless black lines flew out. As large amounts of restrictions filled the area, the palace was completely sealed. After doing all this, Wang Lin was still a bit worried. He slapped his bag of holding and a compass appeared in his hand. This compass was something only the heir of the annihilation restriction could have. After blowing origin energy at the compass, the needle on it began to spin. The compass flew up and grew until it was 100 feet wide. It floated above Wang Lin, and when Wang Lin jumped up, the compass descended, sinking into the ground. Wang Lin sat down in the middle of the compass. This should be enough. Wang Lin slapped his bag of holding and the silver corpse appeared before him. Looking at the corpse, Wang Lin pondered for a moment before mercilessly pressing down between her eyebrows. At this moment, the female corpse suddenly opened her eyes, revealing a cold gaze at Wang Lin. Also, a vortex appeared between her eyebrows, stopping his finger 1 inch away from her skin. A vicious gaze appeared in the eyes of the female corpse and she retreated. However, the moment she retreated, the compass below her trembled and rotated. Restrictions flew out from the compass and seamlessly linked together with all the other restrictions in the room. If she triggered one restriction, it was tantamount to triggering them all. There was a vicious gaze in her eyes, and also an unexpected hint of intelligence. She slowed her retreat and charged straight at Wang Lin. The female corpse was seriously injured, and although her cultivation level had fallen, her fierceness hadn't decreased at all. She rushed up to Wang Lin and mercilessly clawed at him. Wang Lin's expression was still calm, and as her claw closed in, a ray of blue light shot out from Wang Lin's eyes. Her hand immediately touched the blue light. After letting out a miserable scream, the woman quickly retreated. Although she was retreating, her movement was light and she unexpectedly didn't touch any of the restrictions. She stopped few dozen feet from Wang Lin. There was a hint of intelligence in her eyes as she bared her teeth at Wang Lin and let out a roar. This female corpse was already beautiful, So not only did this action not give people sense of danger, she gave off the impression of a cat because of her two eye teeth. The two chains on her body clattered as she moved, and the sound echoed across the palace. This video will end here.